Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a square Easter card. I have my stitched square die cuts from Lil Inker Designs, and then also this background. I don't have this labeled, so I can't remember what it's called, but it's a background die from Lawn Fawn. And I'm going to cut out one of the squares of pink cardstock, and then I'm going to run this through again in the Lawn Fawn background to kind of give it like a double texture. I'm going to be cutting out 2 stitch squares, and so I wanted them to match, but I also want the pattern behind the other white square, so I was just kind of centering that in the bigger die and then running that through. And then I'll end up pausing a little bit later to poke out all the little pieces, so you don't have to watch me do that. And then I couldn't see my tweezers in my line of sight, so I went for my spatula to get that out of there because it was very stuck to it. And then I'm going to cut a smaller square out of just plain white cardstock, and that'll be the background for the image. I'm going to be using an Avery Elle set. I think it's called Hoppy Easter. It's to the right a little bit. Hoppy Easter. It's just a mini set. And so I'm going to stamp this out, and I have a new Memento ink stamp pad, and so it's very juicy, which is a blessing and a curse because I bought a new one. I should have just bought a re-inker according to all of you because I'm stupid and I just bought a pad instead of realizing that there's re-inkers for that. My other ones are getting kind of dry and I bought a new one, but now it's very, very wet, so I kind of have to be careful how many times I pound the stamp on the pad before I stamp it. I think I was happy with the third one, so I'm going to cut that out and color him. And there's going to be an added section at the end because I do this a lot when I'm filming a card. I'll finish it and think that I'm done, and I'll forget that I wanted to add white accents or anything else, and it's just very undone. So instead of telling you at the end that I did more to the card, I decided to film what I added to the card because I had already stopped filming, and that'll be added on to the end so you can actually see. I know that I wanted kind of a cream colored bunny versus gray or brown. That's just what I pictured in my head, and I'll be sticking with kind of pastelish colors for the egg. The set comes with a few little miniature stamps. There's a triangle, a circle, a flower. I use the circle to create a pattern on the egg. I leave the bottom of the egg plain, but the middle I use the circle stamp to decorate. And then I use the flower stamp on the white card base, the stitched square piece. I didn't use the triangle. I can't remember if there's another shape. There was no rhyme or reason to this pattern. I just kind of decided that was enough little circles. And I have a plan for the circles that I just stamped, the ones I'm coloring in right now. So I'm just going to go in with whatever pink I found because I'm going to be putting something over it later. And then I always need to work in some teal. And for the 2 color combo, I show you these in a second because I realized that I didn't show you the 2 colors that I used. I really like the BG 23. I went to go show you the purple combo. BG 32 and BG 11 is a good combo that I like, but it could use a little more darker shading as well. So I have BVOO and BVOOOO, I think. I don't know if BV and 3 O's is a number. This one worked out just fine though. it seems awfully light, the BV0000, but if you just keep blending, you'll learn that as you use Copics, your lighter markers can go in, and the alcohol in there actually lightens up the darker marker that you already put down, which is probably basic knowledge, and if it's not, now you know. So you can kind of undo the darkness that you had put down first to get them, like force them to blend together basically. And then I was trying to think of kind of more springy colors, and I kind of forgot about yellow, so I went and grabbed Y08 and Y02. I feel like Y02 was going to be a lot more pale or lighter than I had thought. So it blends pretty well. They're maybe a little too close to each other. But I didn't want to go too dark on the yellow because all the other colors are so light. So then I just did the top with the teal combo again. And when I first end the video, I also forgot to color in his nose with anything because I'm very tired, and that contributed to me forgetting to do a lot of things to the card. So I'm just going to die cut him out on my mini die cutter, desktop die cutter. I bought the huge Spellbinders die cutter that kind of like folds up and folds out, but it has to sit under my desk, and it's very large. It's very hard to operate on the desk space that I have. I think it's kind of too late to, I don't know, return it now. I bought it at Hobby Lobby, and they're also turning into horrible people. I'll probably never shop there again. Sorry if you love Hobby Lobby, but you should read the letter that they sent their employees about working during this whole situation, because they are psychotic. So I probably should return it and get my money back, but it's a good machine. It's just too big. I don't know. I still have my Big Shot, and I don't want to support Sizzix either, but they also make this mini die cutter, so I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. Anyway, if you don't know why, feel free to ask me. I don't want to get into it, but I wanted to get rid of my Big Shot, so I bought Spellbinders, and it's very, very large, and I can't seem to let go of my Big Shot, and because it's more manageable on my desktop, and it's not broken or anything yet. So anyway, I end up lifting him up on foam because I was going to lift the white square up on foam, but I decided that I wanted to kind of keep it a little more flat, but then I thought that he might look better raised up a little bit. So I'm using my super odd method of pressing down foam pieces and then cutting off the end after I've already stuck it down. Sometimes it's easier that way. It just depends on whatever size of foam I cut. So then what you can do is just flip the image around and kind of cut from the front side. Obviously don't cut his ear off, but go behind with your detail scissors and cut the foam that you can see from the other side. And you can even just cut it at an angle too. It's not that hard. Sometimes it makes doing foam tape a lot easier if you can just fix it later. So then, I think, yeah, I do this part first because I'm just putting the flowers in the four corners to give it a little something. And then I'm going to put the sentiment in the bottom middle. And I think I started to mount it up like on top of each other, but that didn't make any sense because I wanted to have them next to each other anyway. So I'm just trying to center the Easter the best I can in the middle of the line. And I'm having the too much ink problem again, so I'm hoping I don't stamp a big splotchy mess. That one turned out okay. So then, what I do show you, or manage to do, because I had this thought in my head, I didn't have the thought of like white accents or doing the white dots with acrylic or anything like that at this moment. But I have the jewel drops from Nuvo in rose water. And so I knew I wanted to put some sort of pink Nuvo something or other in these circles. And it's good that I colored them in at all because the pink, this is kind of see-through. And then I'm just using my tweezers to kind of flatten out because it's a very small area and it makes a very pointed drop, and I don't want it to dry that way. So I'm kind of just flattening it from the side. And then I have crystal drops, which is like more pearlescent in shimmering rose. And I'm going to add that to the flowers. So basically just coloring them in with the crystal drops. And these also kind of come to a point in the middle. I'm trying to drag it so that it doesn't, but they all meet in the middle anyway. So I'm just going to end up using my tweezers again to try and flatten them out a little bit. And it's easiest to just hold the tweezers to the side, and then you just kind of stir it up and then pull it out to the side so that it doesn't create another peak. And then I end up just assuming this is done. So the next part I will show you is where I go in and add more stuff. So I have the crystal drops in Simply White, and it'll be interesting to see how these dry. You won't see that in this video, but and I decided I wanted to try this instead of the acrylic paint. The acrylic paint would probably pop more, but I wanted to see how this would work as well. So I'm just adding white dots like I would with the acrylic paint, like I did in the fairy birthday card in my last video. But I'm still going to use my white gel pen and add a couple line accents like I normally do. And then I will also give him cheeks and color in his nose because I forgot to do that. So I'm trying not to touch everything that I just put down that is sticky. And also found one place to go over the line on the top of the egg so that the white accent is more noticeable. So I color in his nose with the same color I put in his ears, the R20. And I'm just trying to define his cheeks a little bit more, and then just put a white dot on top of each of them because I forget how cute that is. And that is it. Thank you for watching. Bye.